I don't even know where to start this thing. So obviously the season didn't go the way that we had expected. There was a point in time, early on in my career where the only thing that I cared about was winning. Like nothing else really mattered. It wasn't like making first call out. That wasn't the goal. That was never the goal. The goal was, every time I step on that stage, it was to win. I prepped with the expectation of winning. I stepped on that stage every show with the expectation of winning. That hunger was so strong during those times, earlier on in my career, at the beginning of my professional career, especially as an amateur. I mean, the only thing I thought about was first place, and there was just this doggedness, I call it the monster. It was the monster that was always there trying to come out, and it was always there, just right under the surface, and I lived in that place. I lived in that intensity and that aggression. I lived in it constantly 24/7, and no, that's not the healthiest thing, but it sure does drive me though, and I feel like that's been lost a little bit, I feel like the focus has always been there, the determination has always been there, but over time I think that I allowed other people, other pros, coach, to kind of alter my thought process a little bit, and to be okay with, you're making first call outs, you've only been a pro for a year, that's awesome, give yourself a hand. You switch to classic and you get first call outs, top 3, top 5, give yourself a hand, and I'm not saying that those things aren't great. I'm very, very grateful for the things I've achieved on and off the stage. But for me, just for me, that's a step down. Like, I was never okay with just getting on stage. And I'm not saying that anyone's wrong for that. I'm not saying anyone's wrong for wanting that. If that's your goal, that's great. Just to get on the stage, that's great. To make first call out, that's great. To become a pro, that's great. But that was never what drove me. Like, I'm just not a fan of the whole, the goal is to beat your last package. You know what? That's awesome. For some people, that is amazing, but not for me. I don't do this. I don't do this to validate myself or to look good in the mirror. Like, I've never had issue with the way that I've looked. I've been fit since I was 8, 9 years old. I have no problem with that. I do this to win. And that's the mentality that's coming back. That's the mentality that I'm putting back in place this off season. I mean, now, nothing else matters but winning. I don't care about making a first call out. That's not my goal. I don't care about making a top 3. That's not my goal. And I don't mean that in a way that sounds egotistical. I don't mean that in a way that sounds disrespectful to the other competitors or anybody else who has their own goals in life. I'm saying, for me, my drive is winning. Winning. Nothing more, nothing less. And somewhere along the lines that got lost in translation, somewhere along the line, that doggedness just wasn't as present, and that doggedness and that aggression translates into so many other things. And I'm going to use what I've learned now and combine it with that monster that is in there. And I'm just going to let it out. I'm going to put it all together and really just mentally go back to the place that you guys know me for. Mentally go back to being a killer, a monster, a dog. Like, that's who I am. That's what brought you guys here. That's what brought the success on the stage. The success in life is built in an entirely different way for me, at least. But I compete to win. I don't compete for the sake of just getting on stage. That's not the point. I love bodybuilding. I love the lifestyle of bodybuilding. But if I'm going to compete, I'm going to get on that stage to win. I'm going to prep every day to win. I'm going to take every day in this off season as an opportunity to win. And I'm going to push the boundaries this year, doing everything necessary to put me in a position to win, and not just win, you know, a one pro show or two pro shows. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys, and this is just me. I don't care if I win 5 pro shows in a row. I should be. That should be the goal. Like, that should be that sadistic switch that is always on in my head, that I have to keep going one step after the other. Like Kobe said, the job's not finished. You know, oh, you should be grateful that you're a pro and you can step on and compete with pros and be competitive. Yeah, that's great. I'm grateful for that. But I don't do this just to step on stage for the hell of it, to see what happens, you know? So that's the energy that I'm bringing this off season. And I'm going to rise to that level. I'm going to rise to the occasion, and I'm going to win. I'm going to make this thing happen. So I just wanted to get on here and give you guys a little bit of a mental update, because that's been something that's weighing heavily on my mind and on my heart. Today's going to be a great day. I've got a pull day today, back in biceps. We're going to go film that workout right now, and just get after it. You know, hold nothing back. That doesn't mean go in there and move stupid amounts of weights with no form by any means. But, you know, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to attack the weights. And you guys are going to be right there with me every step of the way, all off season, all prep, and all season next year. And I'm bringing something special. I know every competitor says that, oh, this package is going to be different. This is going to be the best I ever brought. And, you know, then you fall flat on your face. And I fell into that. I fell into that. I fell on my face this last show. Don't even know what I placed. I just know I wasn't in the first call out. It was a loss. It was a loss, not a failure. Failure is different. We lose, we get up, we get better, we move forward, we go back to work. When you fail is when you quit. You know, we don't quit over here. So, enough of that. I've been talking your ear off. Let's go lift some weights. All right, so I'm gonna hop right into set 2. A little bit of a short rest between the last set and this set, but truthfully, that last set was pretty light. So I'm gonna add a little more weight here and just really focus on the squeeze, getting a big extension, a big pull down. You know, not being too much of a stickler for the form, but enough to where I'm feeling it properly and, you know, engaging the right muscles. That set felt way better. Definitely felt really strong on the pull, really good contraction, really good blood flow there. So I log all of my workouts and training, shit like that. And I went back and looked the last time I ran this, I think, you know, a week or so before I went on vacation with my family. And I just did my max set like easily, and that was only for set 2. So, I mean, take into consideration that at that time I was like less than a week post show, or about a week post show, so strength probably wasn't, you know, in a great place anyway. But it feels really good to be moving some heavier weight again after, you know, going through a prep and feeling the strength kind of come down a little bit. So it feels good to be trending back up in a good direction. So just kind of keep that whole trend all off season and see how strong we can really get, you know? Oh, fuck. Whew. That was a hell of a set. I felt really good. I really do like the mag grip pull down better than like the straight bar. It just keeps my elbows in. You know, when you have the elbows pointed more inwards than flaring out, you are hitting more of the lats. Because you have to think about how they anatomically connect, you know, throughout your body, and just having your elbows in more of an inward position when you're driving down does engage the lats more. So I like the mag grip. I like how it feels. I'm gonna keep it in there. All right, so got pull-ups now. I like doing pull-ups, you know, after a weighted pull-down movement. It just fires the lats really, really good. Like, it just keeps the blood flowing, and just adding pull-ups has really kind of helped me a lot. So, I mean, just have fun with what you're doing too. I mean, try different things, see what works out for you. You know, don't just follow your favorite bodybuilder's workout. Do what works for you. And this is just something that I've realized and found out recently really works for me. All right, so hopped on over here to the barbell row. It's one of my favorite back movements. Put that thickness on the lats a little bit. I gotta run it up from 225. This is actually my first set. Feel pretty warm, so I'm not gonna do a warm-up set. I'm just gonna hop into this thing. Forgot my belt today, so that sucks, but just keep the weight under control. So when I do barbell row, I like to keep my hands a little bit closer, just because when you're closer, works the lats a little bit better. And I like to keep my elbows tight. I try not to flare them out when I'm pulling up. Again, just to keep the tension where it's supposed to be at. So, all right, let's have some fun, baby. I love to do this. Let's fucking kill it. That was good. I felt that completely in the lats. And something else I like to focus on is when I'm driving through, you know, squeezing the whole back, not just here, but, you know, pulling those shoulder blades together, giving the rhomboids a little bit of tension too. So, added some more weight here. I really want to just get after it. This is 250 in class. 2 weeks ago I did this. 2 weeks ago I did 245 for 12 on my second set. So that's usually the upper limit for me is 12. So that being the case, added 5 more pounds for set 2 at 250. And this should be pretty good, but just gotta stay locked in, control the weight, don't let the weight control me, and take it from there. Whew, come on, let's go. Every fucking rep. Oh, there it is.
Oh yeah, 12 reps at 250 per set 2. I beat myself from last week, can't complain. Wound up a little higher. Form felt like it was in a pretty good place, so I definitely push just a little bit higher for the next set. Yep. I'll take that. What is this, 260 for 10? I'll take that. You know, I was reminded of something that just kind of came to my head just now. A quote that I heard. You know, I listen to a lot of like sports psychology stuff. Listen to a lot of interviews of other, you know, great athletes that are at the top of their field and what they do. And one of the better quotes that I heard was that winning is not a goal, winning is a result. And that was so profound to me because for the longest time, you know, the goal, you know, obviously is to win. As I said earlier, that's the only thing we really care about is to win, but that just, you know, allows me to think about it and should allow all of us to think a little bit deeper about it and say, well, what is winning? Winning is the result of the consistent efforts in the field of what you do. Coming in here every single day, giving 100% during the workouts, giving 100% to, you know, your meals, your rest, your recovery. And that's something that I can honestly say that I've been slacking on is my rest and recovery. Like I don't typically get much sleep and I don't really give much effort to the recovery side of things. And that could be something that's shooting me in the foot. So to have such a lofty goal as to win, as to be an Olympia champion, you know, whatever it is, those little things have to be there. You know, you have to cross your T's, you have to dot your I's. So, I mean, there's just so much that can be taken away from just a one-line quote of winning is not a goal, winning is a result. It's the end of a not so complicated math equation. I mean, you can make it as simple or as complicated as you want, but it's just doing the work, and the end result, preferably, is winning. Come on, man. Yeah, man, that's good. But don't get it twisted. I'm going for the win. Going for the fucking win, baby. That's all I think about is the fucking win. Woo! Come on. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh. Went a little bit heavier than necessary on that set, but I just wanted to feel it. I just wanted to feel some heavy weight, you know? So fuck it, we did it. So I've really come to like this movement a lot. I'm using the high pull, but I'm using it as more of like a neutral grip pull down. Because like I said, I like pull down movements where the elbows are more in a forward position, and this allows me to just kind of load it in a different way, but still get that same feel. So it takes a little bit more concentration to really get it, but you know, just take it slow and feel it. Good extension at the top and drive down hard. Arch the back, lean into it, drive it down. Add a little more weight. So take them here. All right. I mean, the movement might be a little unconventional. Oh, that got me. Might be a little unconventional, but gotta make it work. Hit the muscle, given the equipment that we have. I'll be starting at a new gym here in a couple of weeks that's closer to the house. It's called Icon Gym, and they've got a ton more equipment, better equipment, and just a more conducive atmosphere to what I'm trying to do anyway. I mean, not to say that LA Fitness has been bad in any way, shape, or form. I've been here for years, but just being able to move into a better environment, I think will, benefit me more mentally above anything else. I had a little more weight for the last set. I want a little bit more resistance at the top of the movement, more of a deeper stretch. So add a little more. That's actually pretty light. All right, let's fucking eat. Ah, there it is. There it is. Much better. Come on. That's what I really pushed for my last sets to look like. Reaching mechanical failure, or muscle failure rather, and then pushing just a little bit more, just a little bit. Just digging deep, which is what I, always try and stress is just dig deep. Don't be a stickler. I mean, yeah, form is great, but you go too light to focus on good form. We're leaving too much on the table. So really dig and just push that envelope and give your best in everything you do, Last movement of the day, my second and last set of barbell curls. I really don't even need to be doing much arms for real. Like, my arms are huge, but I like to keep the blood flowing and just really kind of refine the muscle that's there, and a little bit of growth here and there is okay, just to kind of keep it proportional with everything else on my physique. But really good back day today overall. Really, really good stretch. Like I said, I like to focus on really good contractions, and I was able to move a pretty good amount of weight and use more weight than I did last time I did this pull day. So I mean, progression is key, and I feel like it was pretty intense today. I feel like I had a pretty good day as far as my mentality goes. So it's another box checked. Might get a cheat meal tonight, and by cheat meal I mean like sushi or like Chinese food with steamed rice and some teriyaki chicken. Nothing too crazy. You know, back is one of the muscle groups that I'm trying to focus on growing this off season. Back in my legs. So added calories make sense. All right. Come on, baby, let's go. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's money set right there. Woo. Oh, yeah, I love it. Another good day in the books. Another good day in the books.